IFLA 2016 has been conducted and powered by Miviro.com, a startup from Kolkata. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a video introducing you to the idea of Miviro and how it's going to enhance life as a whole. That's Miviro. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to the awards ceremony and announce the names of the winners of IFLA 2016, I would like to request Mr. Didi Prokastha, Managing Director and CEO, ABB Private Limited and Chairman INFOCOM, to deliver the welcome address. Sir.
Esteemed guests of honor, Mr. Sunil Kumar Barnwal, Secretary to Chief Minister, Secretary IT and E-Governance, and Secretary Industries, Mines and Geology, Government of Jharkhand. Mr. Aparup Sengupta, Founder and Chairman, Aaj Global Foundation, Co-Founder and Partner, Capital Square Partners. Mr. Sanjay Mehta, Angel and PE Investor, Director CFP Programs at Core Media, Investor in Cryptocurrency and Blockchain. Mr. Kamal Agarwala, Founder and CEO, La Exactly Software and Chairman, NASCOM, Eastern Regional Council. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. I welcome you all to the INFOCOM Future Leadership Awards 2016. Innovation, creativity, and leadership have been the three strong pillars of INFOCOM ever since it was born 15 years ago. IFLA, under the aegis of the main event, INFOCOM, has been an endeavor to identify and groom the young global leaders of the future. It was launched in 2006 as a paper writing competition for management students across the globe and has today turned over a new leaf. IFLA 2016 is being positioned as an original business ideas competition with an objective to open up beyond campuses and students and provide funding and mentorship opportunities to the young future leaders and entrepreneurs who have brilliant and original ideas on their mind and the passion to transform these ideas into business models. The competition had two categories, general and student. We received nearly 60 entries from young leaders. Most of the entries showed the sheer amount of research that they have done before coming up with the idea. The entries were also impressive for the number of ideas that came forth. In the general category, 10 were shortlisted, and in the student category, 5 were shortlisted. You have seen their presentations earlier today. I would like to congratulate all the participants for their excellent efforts. I thank Ernst & Young for being the process advisor to IFLA 2016. I would also like to express our gratitude to our presenting sponsor, Government of Jharkhand, and associate sponsors, National Stock Exchange of India and AJ Foundation for making this event possible. I also thank NASSCOM 10,000 Startups Initiative and the Founder Institute for supporting IFLA 2016. I take this opportunity to thank our guests of honor and jury members, Mr. Sunil Kumar Barnwal, Mr. Aprup Sengupta, Mr. Sanjay Mehta, and Mr. Kamal Agarwala for joining us for the IFLA 2016. Before we declare the names of the winners, I would like to wish all these future leaders the very best for the road ahead. When they attain greater heights of success in the future, it will give us all immense satisfaction. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. This year, ladies and gentlemen, IFLA saw a record number of entries being submitted in both categories of the competition. The organization which developed the process of selection to ensure that the best ideas could be identified was none other than Ernst & Young. I would now like to request Mr. Harish Agarwal, partner Ernst & Young, to explain the selection process.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The EY team worked alongside the INFOCOM team in defining the process for selecting the winners of today's award ceremony. We worked at making sure that the process was free of biases. We defined the parameters that were used by the esteemed jury in first shortlisting the. Sorry about this. Thank you. Yeah, so we worked with the jury and INFOCOM in developing the methodology for identifying the shortlist first, and then identifying the winners that will be announced shortly by INFOCOM. We essentially, as Mr. Purkayastha mentioned, we had two categories of general and student. For the eligibility for the awards was as follows. The participants had to be above the age of 18 as on August 31st, 2016. The participants have to be Indian citizens. For student category, a team could consist of one or more members, but they all had to be from the same educational institution, and only one representative per team was allowed to pitch the idea to the jury today. Moving on, I'll give you the process overview for the general as well as the student category. For the general category, the individuals submitted their proposals. An initial shortlisting was done based on the case study that was submitted by a select jury. The top 10 team members were invited for physical presentation, which happened earlier today. The grand jury, consisting of 4 members, evaluated the case studies on predefined parameters, and based on which the jury identified the winners. The EY team worked with them in tabulating the scores and coming up with the final winners. For student category, the process was pretty much the same, except the students had to submit their studies online, and they were voted at by their fellow students. There was a 70% rating applied by the juries and 30% applied for the students' vote. The top 5 teams were invited today to present their case studies to the grand jury. And again, like the general category, the grand jury evaluated the case studies on predefined parameters, and then EY team worked alongside the jury to tabulate the scores and come at the winners. That was the process that we followed today. Our team is present here to finalize the process. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, IFLA has been supported by the Founder Institute, which is committed towards developing entrepreneurs in all parts of the globe. They have recently started their Calcutta operations. Founder Institute will award scholarships to 4 finalists in the general category based on the scores they have received in their entrepreneurship DNA test. I would now like to request Mr. Vikram Duggal, Director, Calcutta Chapter of Founder Institute, to address the gathering and announce the names of the scholarship winners.
Hi, good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to thank Orithro and Ritik and Anton from Mivero for allowing us the opportunity to associate with this wonderful event and this program. Just to give you a little brief about what Founders Institute is really all about, it's one of the world's premier idea stage accelerator and startup launch program for talented entrepreneurs based out of Silicon Valley, US. It was started by Adio Resi, and it's present in currently over 135 cities across the world and 60 plus countries. I currently lead one of the lead directors of the Founder Institute Kolkata chapter, which we're just starting to launch. The inaugural semester is starting on 9th of December. There are about 7-8 chapters existing in various cities in India right now. It's a 4-month-long program. Sessions will be held mostly once a week. It's for people who are either working or studying, still at idea stage or barely just an idea. And we help them through, it's a very structured program where we help them in, have the hands-on approach to help them form their own company by the time they graduate. We've got a few of the mentors of Kolkata chapter of Founder Institute also sitting here in the audience. The interesting part is that we have something called the liquidity pool, where graduates, once they pass out, they share the equity with not just the Founder Institute, but also the mentors and their cohorts. So it's, everybody has an upside, even if one of the people in the batch, kind of goes out and gets some funding. So I would request whoever is interested to go to fi.co. It's a pretty simple website, and look up details of this program. I would now like to invite my co-director, Anupama Dukenia, to announce the names of those 3 entrepreneurs. And so just to clarify, we weren't evaluating the pitches made by the startups based on the business, because we really are looking at more of them as entrepreneurs by themselves, and because ideas keep pivoting down the line. So we have found 3 entrepreneurs who we would like to kind of give the Mivero Fellowship into Founder Institute for this current semester. Anupama?
Hi everyone. So the 3 entrepreneurs that will be getting the Founder Institute Fellowship are Amitav Chaudhary, Parthasarthi Nag, and Sankalp Das.
Let's have a big hand for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, all of us would like to hear our guests of honor and jury members share their perspectives, and for this reason, I'd like to call them onto the dais. Mr. Sunil Kumar Banwal, Secretary to Chief Minister, Secretary IT and E-Governance, and Secretary Industries, Mines and Geology, Government of Jharkhand. We request you, sir, to take your seat on the dais, please. Mr. Aparup Sengupta, Founder and Chairman, Aj Global Foundation, Co-Founder and Partner, Capital Square Partners. We request you to take your seat, sir. Mr. Sanjay Mehta, Angel and PE Investor, Director, CPF Programs at Core India, Investor in Cryptocurrency and Blockchain. We request you to take your seat, sir. And Mr. Kamal Agarwala, Founder and CEO, La Exactly Software and Chairman, NASSCOM Eastern Regional Council. We request you to take your seat on the dais, sir. And I think we can do this very informally. We've got our hand mics here, and any of you can start sharing your perspectives. We can start.
So, just a couple of things. With due respect, this is a really good initiative. Couple of suggestions is that as far as student category is concerned, ideas are good. But when we do a competition for a general category, I believe this audience would expect much more than ideas. We would happy to see prototype or a business model already in place. If we are inviting people like Sanjay or Mr. Sengupta or Mr. Banwal, I think idea should not be the only thing to be placed. That's one thing. So maybe next year, we may, when we talk about general category, we should have a prototype or a business model when we do a pitching for the general category. Number two, I'm really very disappointed. Being at the helm of Startup Warehouse and regional council and all, we certainly have many good startups. So Sanjay was telling me, Kamal bhai, you keep telling you have such a wonderful startups in Kolkata, why I'm not seeing that? So I am really disappointed with that. Number three, I was also disappointed by the pitching. We should not take away the flavor of those slides presentation or PPT presentation. We may tell them guideline, we may set up a guideline that you can have only 2 or 3 or 4 slides, not more than that, but we should not restrict them into the text mode. It takes away the flavor, it takes away the creativity of the startup, how they want to present their idea. That's all.
While Kamal echoed whatever I had to say across, one of the suggestion, I was part of a TIE Delhi conference, which was covered by CNBC, and they had a session which was called Tie the Knot, which was a Shark Tank kind of format, where we committed as an angel money there and there itself. It was like really writing a check. While, out of those, I think 8 deals, 6 got subscribed, but actually 1 got funded. In fact, I had led that deal. So if you can curate that right set of startups for angels, for us, we'll be ready to commit money there and there itself, right? In front of everyone, saying that we are ready to bank this startup. So next time, hopefully, we should have that Shark Tank kind of format where we are able to see good curated startup which are pre-screened by the jury and showcased to investors, and happy to write checks accordingly.
I think the good part is that it was a start, and I think it's always good to have a beginning, and it was very exciting to see the students speak a lot to the general category. I mean, while we saw some ideas, but as my earlier 2 speakers mentioned, that it needs a lot of curation. See, one thing in startup is, especially when you're looking at an investor, and we are all here to write checks, if at all, for startups, and it's not a big check size. But it's the instant feeling of gut and the sense and the sensibility, all those things go behind our mind. If you cannot explain your company in 15 seconds what you do, I mean, it's a wrong idea. I mean, one of the thumb rule one. So what do you do? I mean, it cannot be a 4.5-minute presentation as to what you do, and you should be able to articulate that in 15 seconds. And second thing is that you should have gone all the way and not poured in what you call is PPT as an outcome of an imagination. And it could happen, it might happen, it is possible, if then else, it's called the if then else world. If you are still in that, it's yet not an idea, it's much of a dream and at that point in time. So I think we are there, but there's a long way to go, and especially on the general category, I think, barring a few, I think we hardly found something that where we could basically write a check at that point in time. But I think it's a good start. It's always there for us to improve, and personally I'll come back every year and see that I at least pick up one, if not more, as an angel investment. Personally, that's being a Bengali, that's my commitment. Sanjay may not, he might look at the overall IRR, but I will do it for the next 2-3 years. Let's see what happens.
Well, for me, this is a new experience to be in the jury to evaluate an idea. Being from the government, normally we are more in promotion of the ideas or any new thing which should get the acceptability of the society. So for me, it was a good new experience, and I personally, being a very optimistic person, as he said, it's a very good start. And in fact, INFOCOM at Calcutta, this is happening. I'm sure it will build and it will go much bigger in size. I'm sure the society has much more than what I saw today. But nonetheless, I feel people applied themselves, has come out with idea. It requires some sort of a support, mentoring, iterating the idea to build on and to take to a commercial stage. And that is what I felt is a bit lacking, except in few. And therefore, this need to be done while we examine different aspects of developing an ecosystem. We should not forget that if anything is lacking, it is all of us who need to address it. And therefore, whoever is in whatever capacity need to address that. If angel investors are not getting good number of good startup, I think we need to address why are we not getting it. If government feels that in my jurisdiction, we are not able to promote new good startups, we need to address it. It's not just left to a student or to a person that, you are not coming with a good idea. Something we have to build in the society, and that we should be doing it. And I am very happy that this is being done. And in fact, my commitment to my estate comes from this stage is that next event for this business idea competition we will hold in Ranchi. And in fact, it will be a further startup. Because I know you have started, we will be starting up and we will build on it. And slowly, in fact, when Silicon Valley was developing, there was nothing in Bangalore. And when Silicon Valley became a capital of a startup, people thought India will not have it. But soon we had Bangalore as the startup capital for India. And I'm sure that sooner or later, Kolkata, Ranchi and some other cities will also become a hub of a startup. And therefore, this beginning has huge hope and we must promote. I was very happy to see some of the ideas at the very late age. They have been thinking about the new things. You see, the experience many a times kills the innovation because we tend to think in one way based on our experiences. But we had people who at their age, with so much of experience, were coming out with an idea which actually they felt all through their life is necessary to work on. And therefore, I am very happy. Still a long way to go, but good beginning has been done. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we can understand from our jury and our guests of honors, that that we have started. That's a good start. Thank you very much. We now move on to the felicitation ceremony, and I will request our esteemed guests to kindly come forward so that you can felicitate the awardees. There are 2 categories, and we begin with the student category. Out of the 5 finalists, the top 3 have been selected, and each of the winners will get the IFLA trophy, certificate, and a prize money of rupees 50,000 each. Let me now call upon the winners. I will now call upon the winners in no particular order. Anupam Kumar Singh, Meghnad Saha Institute of Technology, for his idea on accident detector. Please come forward. Here is Anupam Kumar Singh. Heartiest congratulations to Anupam Kumar Singh. Thank you. Rohit Jain of Wellinkar Institute of Management, Mumbai, for his idea on retail outlets of global musical instruments. And here he is. Give a big round of applause to Rohit Jain. Heartiest congratulations to you. And the third winner is Sumit Mittal of IIM Shillong for his idea on convenient carts in retail stores. Please come forward and a big round of applause for Sumit Mittal. I think they deserve a bigger round of applause because these are the innovators, they are the future leaders. They need our support. Thank you so much. And heartiest congratulations, Sumit Mittal. Moving on to the general category. Out of the 10 finalists, the top 2 have been selected, and each of the winners will get the IFLA trophy, a certificate, and a prize money of rupees 2 lakhs each. I will take this honor to call upon the winners, and again in no particular order. Pradeep Kumar Mukherjee, Forex TM, for his idea on mobile app for Forex remittances. And here is Pradeep Kumar Mukherjee of Forex TM receiving the award. Heartiest congratulations to you. And the second awardee is Basabjit Nag and Reshmi Nath of Dabadigo for the idea on electric scooter rentals. Please come forward. And a big round of applause for Basabjit Nag and Reshmi Nath. There, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of INFOCOM Future Leadership Awards 2016. But can we have all the winners on stage, please, with their trophies? Can we have all the winners on stage with their trophies for a photo option with our guests of honor and the jury members?